Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. JC here with another video on Action Taimanin. Today we're gonna check the Decisive weapon pack for Asusa. But before we start, don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe if you need the content. So Asusa's pack is finally here, and if you want to buy it, it's cool and all, but you should get to know what this pack actually does, and if it's worth it or not. So let's check very quickly the pack. Obviously, as usual, it comes with the custom, a copy of the UR weapon, a copy of the SR weapon, and 100 gems. If you go to the gacha section, you will see that we also have her banner. For her banner, we have Sword Dancer Kichi Asusa. Kichi Asusa is going to give you pretty simple set of effects, but they synergize pretty well. So, when doing a critical attack, increases penetration by 7%, going up to 14%. Upon attacking an enemy, reduce their critical resistance by 10%, up to 20% for 5 seconds. So that's pretty good, because you're getting free penetration, and penetration is super important. As long as you crit, that's the issue. That's not going to be that great for VR, and that's where we actually want the penetration. Yeah, every enemy on all contents have a set amount of damage reduction, and we're gonna bypass with penetration, but honestly it's not that impactful on normal content. It's better to have damage increase, and that's why the second effect, the second extra passive, is super important. It says increases critical damage by 22%, going up to 44%. And you can get this effect just with one copy. That's amazing. This you do need, the other one you need to get extra copies to double these numbers. But this one, with one copy, just by leveling it up, you're gonna get 44% critical damage increase. That's amazing. That's super useful. For the active, summon Shikigami on a single enemy, dealing consecutive area attack damage of 100%, 110%. That's gonna be 220%. It is, I mean, it deals good damage, I'll admit. It's not like the most busted thing ever, but it deals a decent amount of damage. Honestly, it is very deceiving, because it looks like it doesn't tell you how many times it does this attack. It just says that it's consecutive. But yeah, it can one-shot stuff, depending on how strong they are. But it is good, it is good. Then we have the weapon. The weapon is also pretty good. So, when using a skill, unleashes a Shikigami at the end, dealing consecutive damage equal to 70% of attack, up to 140%, inflicting a 30% chance, 30% increase in damage taken for 4 seconds, every 7 seconds. So yeah, that's basically not as strong as a Momochi effect, but kinda, it's pretty good. Also, since this is not a Momochi effect, it's going to stack. If your team has someone who's using a Momochi weapon, you'll have 2 sources of damage increase to the enemy. That's amazing, honestly. Then, not only that, it also has increased penetration by 12% and reduces damage taken by 12%, both going up to 24%. That's pretty useful. Excellent. Honestly, this set for normal content has excellent synergy, because you're gonna get damage reduction, you're gonna get the critical damage increase, and Asusa already has a great critical rate, so it doesn't matter. She also gains extra penetration. It gets penetration on the weapon. It reduces the defense of the enemy, or well, increases the damage you deal to the enemy. It reduces the critical resistance. So basically, you're gonna deal a ton of damage, and you're gonna become a little bit tankier. So it is pretty good. But this synergy, while it works, it is not necessary. You can go, and preferably you go to VR with the Mayakashi weapon, yeah, but with damage increase, pure damage increase. Forget about the crit part, because nothing here suggests that you need to use critical damage or critical strategies on VR, which is amazing. It's great. And this doesn't suggest that you have to use this weapon, because you won't get the most damage on if you're doing criticals by using this weapon. Instead, use the butterfly weapon. That's a better pick for this. So while there is synergy and they can work together, they are not forced to be together. They can take advantage of other synergies with other weapons and supporters. So that's pretty strong, honestly. I, as you can see, roll a ton on this one because I had terrible luck. And I really wanted this to be 5 out of 5. And, well, in the end I managed, I guess. But I wouldn't call this a high priority. The supporter is definitely nice. The weapon, it's okay if you're an Asusa fan and you want to make her a little bit tankier. If you think like she's too squishy for you, this is going to make her a little bit tankier, and that's going to work a lot. The penetration is not going to be that effective on normal content. It's more effective on VR. And the damage increase is always effective. So, yeah, it is good. If you want to roll for it, that's fine. Just, it's not required. We already have a ton of good options for Asusa. If we check the weapons, yeah, I'm going to put it here. And I put Rinko because they share weapons. We already have this one, which is pretty good. You want to use this weapon on team battles where you can create basically total war or maybe events. This is pretty useful. You can also use the Momochi weapon. It pairs perfectly with her leader skill. You can also use where is it? The Sakura weapon. The Sakura weapon is amazing for her, so be sure to use it. I mean, there's already plenty of options, not to mention Leyline. That's amazing too. So don't feel pressure to get this specific decisive weapon because it is not the definitive weapon. Azusa already has many great weapons, so you don't need it. You can get it, and it's gonna be useful for sure. So it's up to you. Now, let's check a little bit what this limited set is going to offer. Starting with Tower. And we're gonna start with Asusa over here. So, Asusa. Yeah. So, let's check the set super quickly. I'm going to use for every set over here critical Megatemes. They're gonna be water right now. Obviously, we have the weapon. But as I mentioned, you can go with Yumidori, the butterfly weapon. That's way better if you want to go with the supporter. Then, we're gonna use both weapons 5 out of 5 and plus 15. The critical Megatemes are maxed out. Then, we are going to go red. So, depending on what you do, you might use different combinations of the skills. Obviously, you're gonna use Dragonfly Dance. That's no debate about that. But you can also use Gale Slash and you can use Shadow Sprint to gain a 10% damage increase and a 20% damage increase, which is pretty good. It is not necessary you already get a damage increase over here, but it's on a different duration, so that's good. And you can also use double team Shikigami, you know, that's usually good. If you need HP recovery, there's the option to use Mirror Image, which honestly I do not recommend. It's just easier to just destroy the enemy first. And of course, in case you get surrounded by tons of enemies, Bodyguard is an excellent option because you get a damage increase and also you gain super armor. Super useful. Now, for supporters, of course we're going to use Kichi Asusa. That's the thing that we want to do here. And someone that pairs excellent with Asusa is Baretta. Baretta is one of the best supporters that you can use with Asusa because you're getting a 50% damage increase over here and a 44% damage increase over here. And also that critical resistance is going to go down super easily. You don't even need a good weapon. You're going to crit. Trust me. Then, we have Fuyutsuki here. But let's say that you don't have let's say the premium gacha supporters, the permanent gacha supporters. While you could use Mai, she's also permanent. So, you're going to debuff the enemy thanks to the supporter. So you can use Gallium if you want. That's an option. You can also use Kirara. That's right, you can use Kirara. Pretty simple. And we could also use Susune. But that's not going to be super consistent. I mean, it is consistent enough. Every 7 seconds you're going to be able to do this. But 3 seconds you're going to be doing less damage. And we want consistency. So Yukina is a great option. You can also go with Estella, the F2P option, of course. There's also another one that's pretty good. We have Arika. We have Rinka if you need critical rate, we have Homura if you need damage, and there's one more that I'm missing. Oh yeah, of course, Melt. Melt is gonna be someone that I'm going to be talking about on this video, because she is going to give you damage increase per buff, and some characters can abuse this. Remember that the supporter, Asusa supporter, is giving you a buff, because you get when doing a critical attack, increase penetration by 14%. It doesn't say for how long. Unfortunately, that maybe Grimoire forgot about that. But that's a buff. That's a buff, and it means that you're gonna get a damage increase. And remember that Asusa also has Bodyguard, which gives you two buffs: damage increase and super armor. That's a 30% damage increase. And you have this one. That's another buff. And this one, it's the same kind of buff. So yeah, we can get a ton of buffs. And if you use Yumedori, that's another buff. Well, actually, no, this weapon doesn't give me a buff, but Yumedori does give a buff, and this one too. So consider that, guys. It's really, really useful to use Melt. I always say that she's the red Kana, and everyone disregards Melt because there's not that many synergies with buffs on red as there are in blue, but I think that's gonna change in the future. So we want to buff, and whoops, we destroy everything. Super easy, one shot. So the idea is that you evade, then you dash attack, and then you charge and destroy everything. You see? Pretty easily. Yeah, she's extremely strong with the weapon and supporter. One more time, no interruptions, and now I'm just going to destroy everything. Edwin is dead already? Ah no, he's over there. I'm just going to, come on, like this. Perfect, nice. So yeah, you can see that this is actually extremely strong. When you can crit. I was testing strategies on BR to crit with Asusa. She's not consistent, even if she has critical rate increase, natural critical rate increase, and by using certain things, it is possible. But right now, it's not the best time to test that, because we have Queen Kanaloa, and basically, you either use Core Phantasma or Heaviko on your composition, or you're gonna have troubles beating this thing. Well, there's also the option to use mind control, abuse mind control. That's a thing. But if I use mind control, I won't be able to dedicate myself to the critical strategy. So yeah, that's why I'm not going to show exactly the critical synergies right now, or well, thoroughly for the limited set. Maybe later. But let's continue with other characters that can use this supporter. For example, one of my favorite is going to be Anaros. Anaros is amazing. So over here we have, perfect. We have the butterfly weapon, as I mentioned, pretty good, because it increases critical damage. What's up with this? These are not the Magatamas that I used. Or maybe they are. Let me just... Critical damage, Huh. Do I only have two? Yeah, they are crit. That explains. So, let's just do that again. That was weird. I thought I had more. Okay. Anyways, we have critical damage on all the Magatamas. That's what really matters. And we also have Caja Hirako, 5 out of 5 plus 15. And the other weapon, 5 out of 5 plus 14. Just a beat stick to give you stats. And then, Devour is here just in case you need HP recovery. If you don't, just unequip this and go with Fang Strike to gain an attack buff. Then we have Yaksha Bound to gain a ton of buffs and increase your critical rate. Basically, you guarantee this. And then we have Rymax to destroy everything. Of course, we have Asusa. Since there's multiple enemies, we can use Fuyutsuki. And we have Barretta. Again, with this one. we can use Melt. She's just amazing because this character gains tons of buffs. It is a great idea to use Melt. Now, there was another synergy. Let me just think. Who was it? Yeah, it has to be. It has to do with this one. Oh, it is the demon synergy. For the demon synergy, in case you don't have enough critical rate and you do have the supporter, you can use Aneros. Aneros is excellent in case you need extra critical rate. And the generic critical rate increase on red is gonna be Prophet Eleanor. Yeah, limited I know, but it is the option if you want it. Unfortunately, you don't get a buff unless the enemy is wet. And you make the enemy wet with the supporter when it's on the main, and you don't want to put this on the main if you use Azusa. So, if you want this, perhaps a team battle where you use Eleanor would be the best idea so that you can make the enemy wet. Now, this one is also pretty good, but not for solo content. We're gonna check it later. So, let's go very quickly and let's just destroy everything in our path. You're gonna see that this is amazing. Similar to Asusa, we're gonna do the same strategy. We basically just evade, position, and destroy. Evade, position, and destroy. You see? Pretty simple. And now we repeat. Okay, evade. Oops, the stun. Position, destroy. Yeah, also I need to do more hits so that I'm able to, come on, Rymax. So that I'm able to deal more damage with Kahahirako. There. I just need to get away. Now I just hit a little bit, evade, reposition, and destroy as much as I can. Okay, come on, like that, perfect. I just need a couple hits and done. Pretty simple, pretty strong. I mean, a free 40% critical damage increase is just amazing. Honestly, it is a great option to get this supporter, at least at one copy, because it is devastating. You don't need the extra copies. You can get them and they are useful for sure, but you naturally are going to increase your critical rate with the weapons, so you don't need the critical resistance reduction for the most part. That's useful on BR, and it is a pretty free damage increase. Just take it. Now, let's go with one more character. Honestly, you can use this on any character that deals good critical damage on red. And now we're gonna check it with, where is she? Ragnarok. Yeah, just to finish. So, Ragnarok red, over here. Same supporters as before, but this is a strategy where we are not going to use Icicle Zone. Icicle Zone wants to get away from the enemy. You need to get away from the enemy. You need to do a perfect dodge to activate this. And we don't want that because Cold Tempest, it's a skill that you proc next to the enemy and then you just destroy everything. So instead we're going to use Absolute Zero and the Basic Enhancer to take advantage of our proximity. If you want to change the Basic Enhancer for Icicle Zone, that's fine. I'm not going to use it. You can also change the Basic Enhancer for Freezing Slash, but honestly, you don't have like something that gives you enough value on this skill because the damage, it doesn't give you a damage increase or anything. I cannot equip Frostwind. I would equip Frostwind, but it activates on the same command as Cold Tempest. And Freezing Spear is the rainbow color, so it's not the most useful on a pure build. So let me show you just how to do this. It is just disgustingly OP, the damage I'm going to do. So Ragnarok, do your thing. So we just charge and we destroy everything. Like that. Yeah, if I'm not using the Cold Tempest, then I'm almost not dealing damage for some reason. But honestly, it doesn't matter as long as you do this, as long as you use your skills, you're gonna be fine. Now, let's see, Edwin. Edwin, would you be so kind as to not do that? There. What? How? How did that happen? I was supposed to kill him in one. What happened there? I'm baffled. Well, whatever. In any case, you just have to hit with your Cold Tempest and then everything is going to die. As you can see. Yeah, honestly, it's pretty simple. So, yeah, nice. Now, let's check. Sorry. Oh, water. Let's check this super quickly on Queen Kanaloa. Yeah, it is unfortunate I cannot show you the best ways to do this because there's a ton of synergies that you want to be aware of. For example, Azeroth with the new set is going to allow you to crit easier on BR. That's amazing. And also, she gains critical rate by equipping the Threshold Azeroth. And you can just equip this to gain damage on the main. And it is amazing. It is amazing what you can do with this. Don't forget about Anna Rose. Anna Rose has the Kahahirako. She has the Bouquet Sword, which is going to give critical rate increase and damage increase when using Darkness. That's pretty good if you go blue. You can also, let me check. You can also equip Lapis, which is going to give critical rate to the demons. So there's so many critical synergies nowadays that you can just crit on BR easily. So yeah, that's something to take into consideration. But right now, we're going to be using Asusa. Unfortunately, I'm forced to use this team. Because we're facing Queen Kanaloa and I need someone on green. That's why. That's the only reason I'm using this team. If I wasn't fighting against Queen Kanaloa, I wouldn't be using Oboro. And I would be trying to do something more crit related. But we'll have to do with this right now. So let's start with Asusa because she's the main star of the show. Obviously, she has her weapon, which is going to give her penetration, damage reduction, and damage increase taken to the enemy. That's nice. We also have the fire Magat damage to deal the most damage possible. Whatever weapon, whatever Magat damage on the sub slot. We're going to go with Gale Slash, Dragonfly, and Shadow Sprint. Why this instead of Bodyguard? Because while there are more enemies than... while there are more enemies than in other BRs, it's not as many as in Tower, so it is not necessary. You don't need the extra super armor. So that's why. Now, we have Susune because we're going to be inflicting debuffs. As simple as that. We also have Yukina, and we have Melt. Let me think. No, we're gonna change Melt. We're gonna change Melt for... I need some flat damage increase. It cannot be... It cannot be Vareta because she's not giving me enough. My god, who could it... Oh, yeah. I could do that. I could just equip yeah, I can equip Francis. She's going to be the main attacker. So, I'll equip Francis because Francis is going to give penetration just by being suppressed, and she is suppressed. Now, for Oboro. Oboro is going to be using Skullface, of course, to heal, to gain penetration, to abuse mind control. Water Magatemes to gain speed. Then I need to equip another supporter. Let me just go with... I don't know, like what would be good? Yeah, we have the super easy, super simple Shirayuki. Where is Shirayuki? Where is this dark elf? I swear that I know that it's over here. Where is Shirayuki? She's already equipped, that's why. Okay, so we use Shirayuki to increase the damage of our Demon Time character, Oboro. We use Spinel to increase the damage of our demon type characters because we're using another demon type character. But not only that, since we're facing Queen Ganaloa, we either want to reduce to take away their invincibility or just stop them on their track. That's why we use super slow with this active. Now, what to put on the last slot? Honestly, I'll guess just Estella. Estella will have to do the job. Then we have Wicked Slasher, yeah, to stop the enemy. We have Hypnosis Seal to stop the enemy, and we have Blooming Carnage to reduce the speed of the enemy in case it releases itself. And as for Ragnarok, Ragnarok is going to be using the pack weapon, but you can substitute this for the candy cane saber, which I have equipped on Ingrid, as you can see. So we use Ice Magatamas, we put whatever weapon and whatever Magatamas on the sub slot. We go with green, Storm Zone, Icicle Zone, Frost Wind. Obviously, this is going to be most effective with the Leviathan because, again, we're going to just paralyze the enemy completely. And we use Core Phantasma if possible. We also use Misaki and we use Saika. In case you don't have this, like Saika and Core Phantasma, you can go with a classic Torajiro. She's just amazing. This is assist, so can we use Mitsuki? Yeah, we can use Mitsuki, that's an option. You can go with Nano, because we're gonna do a ton of range attacks. You can go with Corporate Warrior Ingrid to reduce the defense of the enemy. You can go, if you have, with Ragnarok. Ragnarok is amazing for Ragnarok. So, anyways, let's just see how this is going to work. I mean, this is step 80, so it's high enough. I have been just out farming and raising the level. And my cat is over here, if you can hear her. So, let's see. So, I'm just going to... let's see. Oh my god, she is quite impatient right now. She wants to go out. And I just heal. And I just do this and the attack. As you can see, she deals a decent amount of damage. I won't deny that. But honestly, I think that her best color for VR is blue. Because of the direction of the attack. Yeah. As you see, she demolishes this, of course. And most importantly, she's not getting... or well, even if she gets hit, she doesn't get too much damage. Thanks to the damage reduction on the weapon. It's amazing. So, be sure to use this. Be sure to try the weapon if you can. So, let's see. So, should you get this weapon and support her? Well, honestly, I don't think you need them, particularly the weapon. While both of them are strong and useful, you don't need them because there's plenty of options for weapons that Asusa can use effectively. And in the case of even the butterfly weapon, it's good on BR even if you don't use the critical rate because of the speed increase that it provides. It's amazing. If you have the Bright and Arrow support, you can use that with the Mochi weapon on BR and you're going to reduce the defense of the enemy, which is amazing. And this one copy is more than enough because the damage increase comes on the extra passive. So don't overdo it on the gacha. Don't do what I did. And let me know in the comments what you think about this supporter and weapon. Honestly, I like them, but I don't think they are necessary, which is good. It is an option that you might want. And if you're willing to, go for it. So, that's gonna be about it for today, and I'll be seeing you next time. Bye!